Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now that Fatalis has been out for a while and since people seem to be having trouble with him, I thought that I would give you guys the top 5 tips you need to know for the fight to make it easier to slay him. The list won't be in any particular order, but if you follow these tips it will make hunting Fatalis much easier. So without further ado, now to the tips. Tip number 5. Do not ignore the cannons. It gives you a good start to the fight, and it also gives you free damage and part damage for farming necessary parts to craft his armor and get a free topple from it. You should also wear the ghillie mantle as it keeps you hidden to freely load up the cannons. I can't even tell you how many times people who don't wear their ghillie mantles ends up ruining the run by gaining Fatalis attention too early. Solo or multiplayer, this setup to start the fight makes for a good opener. Follow this and you won't regret it. Tip number 4. Don't forget your second free binder. In Phase 2, after Fatalis does his flame supernova, after the giant shield dissolves behind you, there will be a binder that appears. Make sure to pick it up as it could be very important for the last phase of the fight to get more free damage, a free opener, and control Fatalis in the final phase. Make sure you or your teammates don't forget to pick it up. Tip number 3, and this is more for solo play. But if you throw a few spoke bombs on the ground in front of the roaming ballista, it will give you enough time and additional free damage to press Fatalis before he notices you, and the smoke clears more than half of the ballista. Arrows should be gone before Fatalis realize that you're there attacking him. Tip number 2. Don't waste your flint shots. When Fatalis is on his hind legs, you don't need to slap him around to a wall, as the flint shot to his head is good enough. It is only after he is completely low to the ground on all fours when you should slap him into a wall. And finally, tip number 1. Similar to a Latran part breaker, is a very important skill for this fight. Not only does it make Fatalis attacks much weaker, but in the end game when you're crafting his armor and weapons, breaking his head becomes key to not only for the fight but for the materials of the equipment you'll need later on. Here's a bonus tip. Fatalis hates dragon pods. If you pick them up as they fall off his body, and then shoot Fatalis with dragon pods during one of his attacks you don't like, it will instantly stop and flinch him from attacking. For that very reason, on top of flint shots, I would recommend running at least 1 point of slinger capacity on your builds against him. And there you guys have it, the top 5 tips that you will need to know in order to successfully hunt and slay Fatalis. Once you learn the fight, Fatalis patterns of attack aren't as bad as they seem. But if you enjoyed the video and found it informative anyway, I would like to thank you for watching, wish you luck, and to remember to stay classy hunters and to always hunt with style.
Keeping it real, keeping it real.